Okay, let's do some yoga. Bring yourself down into a cross-legged position, nice and comfortably, sitting on your buttocks, getting your head and shoulders directly over your hips and your buttocks so that the trunk of your body is upright. And as you breathe in, begin to create space within your torso. Think about lifting the hips up, away from the femur bones. Take a breath in, and when you next exhale, take those shoulder blades towards each other, the shoulders back, so that you may open across the front of the chest. Have your chin parallel with the floor and close the eyes. Relax the skin on your face, unclench your teeth and allow the tongue to rest centrally in the mouth. Peel it away from the roof of the mouth. Let it float centrally. Tune into your breath, the rise and fall of your chest, the opening and closing of your rib cage, the inflating and deflating of the lungs, and the movement of the diaphragm. When you breathe in, your chest pushes forward, as does your belly button. Your rib cage opens, front, back, sides simultaneously. The lungs inflate. The diaphragm pushes downwards. It gently massages your internal organs. You have taken in breath. As you exhale, your diaphragm returns to its original position. It releases. Your rib cage, front, back and sides simultaneously close, pushing, pressing the lungs to exhale, to eject the breath. Your chest and your tummy, your belly button, move back. Tune in to the cycle of your breath. And remember that all movement is done in synchronicity with the breath. Movement is breath, breath is movement. Let's do a gentle twist of the spinal cord. 33 vertebrae within the spinal cord, starting at the very base, the coccygeal region, and the coccyx is flat and fused together, as is the sacrum. So the bottom 8, 9 bones are flat and fused. However, they can still be lifted, they can still elevate. The lumbar dorsal region of the spine, 5 bones, become individual vertebrae, and as you breathe in and lift them, you give space to the intervertebral discs to be able to have a bit more freedom of movement. The middle thoracic spine is linked to your rib cage. There's 12 vertebrae there, and then it draws up towards the very upper spine, the cervical spine, 7 bones, and at the very top are the axis and the atlas, and they have their connection to the skull in a pivotal fashion, which allows great potential movement for the head. We're going to take our left hand, place it behind the base, at the bottom of the base of the spine. We are not leaning back onto that hand. We still have our head and shoulders directly over our hips. We bring our right hand outside of our left knee. Let's breathe in, elevate upwards, lift pubis to navel, and then As you exhale, you begin to turn to the left. You're going to turn from the lower spine, from the base of the spine, through the middle, the centre, up to the top, and your head and neck will turn last. Remember that pivotal joint, those two vertebrae at the very top, the axis and the atlas. And then keep the lift as you return to the centre. You're still thinking about drawing those hips up away from the thigh bones as you go in the opposite direction. Placing your right hand at the base of your spine, lifting up through the torso, left hand outside of the right thigh or knee, and then turning to the right, moving through bottom, middle to top. And in the fullness of the position, as you are looking over your right shoulder, think about moving your flesh as well. Avoid leaving all the work to the spinal cord. Take the skin, your external self, with the motion. So you're bringing the flesh from the left side of the body round towards the belly button, and then the flesh from the belly button is moving round to the right to meet with the back. You breathe in, create space, return to the centre. Nice deep breath in. As you exhale, lower the chin to the chest. Breathe in through the centre. Exhale, chin up, head back. Breathe into the centre. Turn to look towards the left. Breathe into the centre. Exhale to the right. Inhale, centre. Exhale, drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Breathe into the middle. Breathe out, right ear to right shoulder. Breathe in to the centre. Now closing the eyes, you'll be able to tune in and really see the top two vertebrae of your spinal cord. The atlas is the very top, the very uppermost vertebra, and just underneath that is the axis. And the atlas is given its name by that Greek god who held the world on his shoulders. So your atlas has your skull sitting onto it, and it's pivotal. So let's go through those movements again. We drop the chin down to the chest. We bring it back through the centre. See if you can connect with the tip of your nose as well. And it's almost as if you're drawing a line. A straight line up now as you drop the chin back. Sorry, you drop the head back and the chin up. And then with the nose, draw that line back to the centre and then draw to the left. Drawing back through the middle, extending that line to the right. And then returning to the centre. Let's now drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Breathing, come through the middle. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Breathe in, return to the centre. And be aware that you've got nice relaxed shoulders the whole way through, that the breath is flowing and the teeth are unclenched. Let's bring our left hand outside of our left hip now. We're going to breathe in and we're going to stretch that right arm up. We're going to stretch from the right hip all the way to the right armpit, all the way along the right arm to the fingertips as we extend those right fingertips to the wall to the left of us. So we're stretching to the right, a lateral flexion of the spine. You can use those left fingertips to walk the hand out, only going as far as feels comfortable for you. Remember, keep the tummy pulling in to protect and support the spine. And then you'll breathe in, coming upright, swapping the hands over, resting the right hand outside of the right hip, stretching the left arm up, stretching from hip all the way up the left hand side, past the armpit, along the arm to the fingertips, walking those right fingers out a little further if you feel that you have the stretch within your practice today. Only going to the point that feels comfortable and then tuning in with the breath and allowing your cycle of breathing to guide you. You'll breathe in, pull the tummy in and return to that central position. Let's release the feet out now to bring the soles together. You're going to link the fingers and draw them around the toes. Breathe in and lift up through your torso. Create space, pull up internally, pubis to navel. Baddha Konasana, bound cobbler position. Now in this posture, you can take one hand, the right hand round, collect the flesh of your right buttock and pull it from underneath you up into your back, into your lower back. Repeat that process with the left hand and the left buttock, and that just helps sit you further forward onto your ischium. The ischium, the very base of the pelvis, and it just helps give you an extra hinge forward. So we're going to go into a forward flexion of the spine. You're going to breathe in, pull up internally, create space, lift the flesh on the sides of your body. Think about the flesh on the lower back as well and engage that and pick it up and draw the flesh from the lower parts of the back all the way up towards the shoulders. You're going to draw those elbows outside of your shins, bring them forwards, gently lowering. Now it doesn't matter if you're still up here and you feel like you're really stiff in the hips, just sitting like this, maybe closing the eyes, drawing inward to observe the breath completely. Keep watching its process and it will guide you, especially on exhalation. Upon the exhalation, you'll be surrendering and letting go. Unclench the teeth. And then pull the tummy in and return to that upright central position. And gently now, allowing the soles just to roll away from each other a little bit. You can use the hands to give a bit of a massage to those toes and the soles of the feet. You can use the thumbs to press around, making circles on the fleshy part just beneath the big toes. And then drawing yourself upright and gently begin to flicker the knees up and down, the butterfly. Mobilizing the hip joints. Again, by closing the eyes, you can look inward, you can tune in, you can observe the movement, connect and experience the breath flowing, allowing the movement to take place. Good, and release. Bring the hands to the outside edge of the knees, draw them together, get the weight onto the heels of your feet and allow the feet to extend forwards. We're going to link the thumbs, raise the hands above the head. Now be aware if you're pulling your shoulders up to your ears, drop your shoulders down, take the mind to the hips and lift the flesh from there. Lift the flesh around the waist, around your middle. Create space, pick up the hips away from the femur bones and then hinge forward. Take your time, get to a point that's comfortable. Now it might be where your hands are going to rest on your upper thighs, they may rest on your shins, they may rest on the mat next to your calf muscles, you might be at the ankles, or you might be able to bring the hands round underneath the balls of the feet. It depends on where you are in your practice today. Avoid being judgmental on the self. If you feel like you're right back here and that you're never going to get to touch your toes, your fingers to your toes, you're possibly doing yourself a disservice, because it is with patient perseverance and practice that your body, the muscles, the tendons, the joints, they will all let go, they will open, they will become more flexible and supple. But it's something that you really want to have the willpower to achieve. Suppleness and great flexibility are not handed to you on a platter. They are something you have to work towards, that you have to put effort into. And it's continuous, it's a constant. It's not a quick fix. But yoga has infinite benefits to help you maintain a general sense of health and well-being at all times. So we'll bring the hands down next to the feet or the legs. We'll pull the tummy in. We've got the chin close to the chest. We're going to walk the hands in towards our hips. Our chin stays on our chest as our bones of our spine restack themselves. Once our shoulders are over our hips, then we can bring the chin parallel to the thighs. Now we're going to gently widen the legs. You only want to take the legs as wide as they will go without the knees bending and having space happening. So if your knees are coming up and your legs are away from the floor, then close the feet down until you have full connection with the mat. Okay, it all depends on where your stretch is at this moment in time. Now, once your legs are to the point of comfort for you in the position, you want to look at having your thighs, your knees and your shins and your toes all pointing up towards the ceiling. So be aware if your toes are collapsing inwards, if your thighs are rolling inwards. You can, with both hands, grab the flesh of your inner thigh and gently roll it outwards. Other side, grab the flesh from that inner thigh and gently roll it outwards. Take a nice deep inhalation. Pick the hips up away from the femur bones, these thigh bones. Pick the hips up. Bring the hands in front of you and walk them forward just a couple of feet. Let go of the shoulders. Unclench the teeth. Breathe. Now every time you breathe in, you look at the lowest part of the linchpin of the body, the pelvic girdle, and you elevate it forward towards the chin. So you feel this forward motion allowing you to comfortably relax down. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, bend the elbows. Breathe in, straighten the arms. Exhale, bend the elbows. Third time, breathe in, create that space. Exhale, bend the elbows. Get to a point that is comfortable for you. Now, if you can go further, take your hands to their respective ankles. Doesn't matter if they're at the shins, just wherever is good for your stretch. You're still creating that space. Every time you breathe in, you lift and rise up. You're brightening your energy. You're creating freedom of space to move into upon your exhalation, your surrender.
Unclench the teeth. Soften the skin on the face. Unfurrow the brow. Breathe. And then gently, you will bring those hands out in front of you, pulling the tummy in, chin to chest, as you restack the bones of the spine. We're now going to place our left hand, the knuckles, onto the mat in front of us. Take a nice deep inhalation. Exhale, let's see if we can lower that left elbow down. Now it's fine if it's resting on your inner thigh as well. This is acceptable. If you can get down onto the mat, then do so. You're going to breathe in, raise your right arm. You're going to stretch from right hip all the way up to the right fingertips, and then draw that right arm over. Look at keeping that right shoulder above the left, so you're stacking your shoulders one on top of each other. The aim of this position is to get the fingers down towards the toes, but we don't want to detriment the posture by going too far too soon and collapsing forward and grabbing onto the toes. So it's better that you're in a position like this than like this, okay? See if you can take a breath in, and as you exhale, turn the head and neck on the cervical spine to look up towards the ceiling. And then on your next exhalation, release the left hand and bring it round to connect with the thigh, shin or toes along with your right hand. Now you want to check the shoulders here. It's very possible that your right shoulder will be higher than your left. So you want to adjust and adapt. And that means adjusting both sides of the body. So rather than just dropping the right shoulder down, see if you can lift the left shoulder to assist as well. Be aware that both sitting bones are still connected with the mat. There may be the possibility that the right buttock is coming off the floor, and because you're trying to lean too far into the position, you're losing the weight pressing down in that right sitting bone. So always keep your central weight pressing down in the foundation of the posture. From here, we're going to walk the fingertips out in front of us, through the centre, to the other side. Okay, so again, it's fine if you're on your shin or even on your thigh, up in a position up here, as long as you're looking at getting your shoulders aligned and centred so that the trunk of the body is resting nice and evenly and equally over your right leg now. And then you'll take a breath in, exhale, you're going to draw that right hand to rest in the mat. You're going to begin to stack that left shoulder above the right shoulder, turning the head and neck on the cervical spine to look up beyond the inner right arm. So we're just looking past our bicep. Teeth unclenched and the breath flowing. Pull the tummy in, secure and support the spinal cord. And then on an exhalation, gently revolving to return to rest over the right foot, walking the hands back through the central position, and then drawing the hands in towards the perineum to sit in an upright position once again. Now you can take a breath in, gently draw those legs up, bring them together, and then you might want to give them a little bit of a shake. And then bring yourself to connect with the mat. We're going to lay in a supine pose, Savasana. So we're going to get into that position by using our stomach muscles
Let's place our arms parallel with each other and centrally over the mat. Nice deep inhalation. As you exhale, let's scoot the tummy in, back and down, tilt the pelvis, round the shoulders forward and drop the chin to the chest. So you're making a nice curve of the spine now, so that each vertebra of the spine can connect with the mat as you lower down. And once the spine is connected with the mat, allow the weight to get onto the heels of the feet, and without disturbing the spinal cord, just let those legs straighten. Allow the heels to be hip width apart, let the toes drop away from each other. Roll the arms outwards, away from the sides of the body, the hands moving away from the hips. Allow your knuckles to rest into the ground, the earth. Let the fingers curl naturally and allow there to be space between your fingers. Let your shoulders rest back into the mat. Draw your chin down towards the chest so that you lengthen the cervical spine and the neck becomes a natural extension of your spinal cord, and you rest centrally on the back of your skull. Relax the skin on your face, soften the jawline, unclench your teeth. Peel the tongue away from the roof of your mouth and allow the tongue to relax in the mouth. It will swell in the mouth and touch on the teeth as you let go. Allow your eyelids to rest over your eyeballs and then turn your eyeballs down in their sockets to take an inward view. Tune in to the rise and fall of your chest. Tune in to the incoming breath. You can feel it enter the nostrils, the cool air drawing into the nose, being warmed, cleaned and moistened as it begins its journey down the back of the throat, down the trachea, the esophagus, and then it splits into two tubes, the bronchi, and the air moves through the bronchi and rushes into the lungs and fills them from the bottom to the top, bursting them into life, inflating them. The chest has risen, the rib cage is opened, making space for the inflating lungs. And at the top of that breath, hold for a pause and then continue watching the exiting breath, whereby the chest now lowers, the rib cage closes, forcing the air out of the lungs as they deflate. They empty from top to bottom, pushing the air up into the bronchi, connecting, travelling up further now through the windpipe, and exiting at the pharyngeal area, the back of the mouth. Breath is life. The better knowledge you have of your breath cycle, the more able you will be to give yourself good amounts of oxygen that will heal, repair, rejuvenate and revitalise every living cell that makes up you. Remember this. Then brush the thumbs across the fingertips. Wiggle your toes. Nice deep breath in through the nostrils as you draw both knees in towards your chest. And if you can, roll yourself into an upright position. If not, you can just roll onto your right hand side into a fetal-like position and then bring yourself round and up to cross-legged. Nice lifted trunk of body. Bring the hands together at the sternum, the breastbone, right on the heart, the place of all truth. Give yourself thanks for your practice today. Give gratitude for all that you have in life rather than what you do not have. And remember that yoga is good for you. Enjoy the rest of your day.